My bed was propped up against a closet that could not be opened. It was a wall closet with wooden panels, and it had a keyhole but no key. And one was not supposed to open that closet. And of course I found the key. And of course I opened the closet, and all kinds of family memorabilia and memories of people who had died in various traumatic circumstances were represented in that family archive. In that family archive were photo albums that came from Poland. I grew up in Italy, so they had traveled from Poland to Italy before World War II in the 1930s. And all the key characters were represented. It was my grandfather's album. So my mother, my father, my siblings, and friends and school and all of that. But the key photographs were missing. As I learned later, they were missing because they had been torn out of the pages of the album. And what was left were the traces of the torn paper beneath them. So all the key photos that documented my mother's family in Poland were actually missing. And what was left was the damage on the supporting scrapbook paper and the torn pages of the scrapbook. So in a way, these holes and torn pages were sort of a representation of a trauma that was not spoken, was tucked away, was archived and hidden away. Some people, some families, some individuals, some groups have their past very well documented. Other people have gaps. Other people have absolutely nothing. So to me, the family photo album with the torn images was both a representation of what was not there, but also of something I had. And that also is, in a way, a relationship to memory. Memory is this ambiguity, and I think it was actually Woody Allen that wrote it in the script of Another Woman. We're not sure whether memory is something we have or something we have lost. And in a way, it's both, and it's always both. And so realizing that later on in life, that something we've experienced early on is maybe shaping what we're doing is haunting and fascinating at once. In my view, archives are kind of like time bombs. When we tuck something away and put it in an archive, we have no idea what will really come out of it. Sometimes we have hopes, but it cannot be predetermined. Is that type of model of development where a drop of water is dripping down a cone and we know where it starts, we have no idea where at the base of the cone it will end. So kind of like that with archives. We may be prompted to safeguard something, to tuck it away, to separate it from real life and put it into storage where it's held, kept safe, climate controlled, packaged, shielded from the elements. And we don't know what will happen to it in the future. Sometimes the time bomb will go off very quickly, and something that's tucked away in an archive will find new layers of interpretation, new ways of being meaningful to, we don't know whom, but somebody who happens to walk by to be interested, to inquire. And other times things lay dormant for years, decades, maybe even more. But invariably the time bomb will go off at some point. And maybe some of these time bombs will go off at different times in multiple ways and cause effects that are incalculable. So I know this may sound like a bit of a metaphysical answer to the question of archives, but in a way archives are a bit metaphysical. They push us beyond the limits of ourselves, of our lifespan. They prompt us to think about storing a memory. It's like planting trees in a way. And we don't know what will happen to the tree, but we plant it anyways, and even if we cannot enjoy its fruit in our lifetime. It's something we have and something we have lost.